If the intensity of your energy centers is indistinguishable from another person's, you can forget about your claims, about some uniqueness in this world, about a unique position in this world. If a person tells me I want to fly on a business jet, and to have a helicopter parked in my backyard, my own, and I look at its centers are indistinguishable from the centers of other people. I say, no, you will be in the crowd, you will be just like everyone else until your energy changes. How will you change it? I don't care, but it can be changed through practices. And then reality will catch up and shape matter. It can be slightly changed by interacting with reality. But it's far from certain that you'll manage to do that, because those who fly on business jets are mostly that relatives of those who have already done this. A very, very incredible number. Very few people, just catastrophically. Few people who can start from there. Well, I'm roughly from some kind of outskirts. Yes, reaching manifestation, opportunities tied to energy, nothing happens. How does reality see you? It sees how bright your centers burn and flow. Nothing is going to happen at all. And how does reality evaluate you? It looks at how brightly your centers are burning and how they are flowing. In reality, it doesn't give a damn about who hurt you, who did something wrong, or who treated you unfairly. She doesn't care. She looks at the center. The center isn't burning. All right, let's join the general crowd. You can't tell different. Or it looks at the centers burning. Unclear what you're doing in the crowd? All right, let's head out. We have a more interesting offer for you. That's how it works. The burning center's intensity determines how worthy you are. What is your worth? How worthy are you? As a living being in the eyes of neither Roses nor me. That's key. And there's another aspect. And that's very important. And there's another aspect. By flowing your energy centers, you allow yourself to feel what lies beyond your physical body. You don't have skin there. You don't have any senses there. But you might have a field there. The field of fire, the field of outflow, the field of energy. Your energy, and this field of energy allows you to feel processes that are far away from the physical body. These are already the energy centers. Although it might seem like this is a course on practical energy, this is the very beginning. This is literally the second, maybe, module. I'm not mistaken, it's the second, it's the module. But this is all the foundation. Without this foundation, your castle on the sand. Next. Gates. Those very sources of consciousness. Without consciousness, without the volume of consciousness, without free consciousness, you won't have anything to perceive your whirlwinds. You just won't be able to perceive them, plain and simple. You will get tired, you will fall asleep, it will be hard for you, it will be difficult for you. It's like, just imagine what it's like. For example, for an absolute humanitarian, a person who has lived their whole life as a humanitarian to solve, well, any equation in trigonometry would just make his brain leak out of his eyes. It would be impossible for him to do that. Why? Because he has neither the skill nor the consciousness. To this, the Sri Yantra is more complex than trigonometry. Sri Yantra, no one ready. So you need to have a huge amount of consciousness. But just sucking in this consciousness through the gates will lead to you immediately messing it up. And to prevent that from happening, you need to have a heart. And your heart will tell you what you're doing right now. You're wasting your life. Or are you perhaps moving towards fiery whole states? The heart will guide you. It never makes mistakes. It will never lie. And even if everyone around you, along with your brain, is saying, you're doing everything right, and at that moment your heart will go cold. You'll just understand. What do you think? That you're doing everything right, but in reality you're just burying yourself. You're spreading thin in the outside world. You're spreading yourself thin in the outside world. Yeah, we can't easily spread physics out into the outside world. Unless it's some kind of disaster. But we spread our consciousness around easily, without even thinking about it. So, channels, energy centers, gates are an essential part of preparing for the practice. It's just impossible without this. A person can be very goal-oriented, but if he resists the outside world, he remains trapped in his perception. Without consciousness, realization is impossible. If he keeps resisting it, then he won't be able to step outside of his physical body in his perception. If a person doesn't have consciousness, they won't have anything to realize and touch every aspect. There are a few people who come to me regularly for the practice of Sri Yantra. I passed them on to them quite a while ago. This knowledge, they keep coming to me, practicing, and sometimes a person comes to you and you say, I say, now we will interact with each aspect one by one. What is that? Interact one by one. What is that? Avruma Upura, full awareness. The first, Avruma Upura. So each aspect several times until complete awareness, until full perception, until full interaction. With each aspect, all 9 levels. And sometimes when a person comes to me to practice, a practitioner who has vision, who is doing well, I say, hey, why don't we just read the Kangalama? There is no consciousness for that. That you say, I'm going to sleep right now. I say, what's wrong with that? I didn't take care of myself before going into such a level of practice. Why? Well, because we are human, because we are passionate. No one expects anyone to be a saint. That's all. Is present in a person even after gaining the knowledge of the agent. This should be considered. So, everything I showed you, everything I told you, all the practices we've gone through, the practice that we are about to do, the fiery table, it's a permanent state. When you give, when you burn with passion, when reality looks at you and says that everything is fine here. And this doesn't belong in the stable. And this is a unique specimen. Why? Ignorance can provoke. By your ignorance, to show off, you'll find yourself in a situation where you provoke a huge wave of discontent directed at me, even from that very demonstration, Sri Yantra. If you show your fiery heart, do it a bit more calmly. If you're demonstrating the yantra, there can be surprises. Even if you face such a situation, reality says nope. But no one will touch this. Why? Because. And you can come out unscathed, fully aware of what was threatening you. I've been in situations like that. Again, when I was showing off, when I realized that I had gone too far, but nothing happened to me, somehow magically. All of this was allowed. Well, it's clear that reality was protecting me. That's why the pillar of fire is mandatory, otherwise you'll get yourself into trouble. No one is stopping you playing.
Do you want to unlock your inner strength and learn to manage energy? The course, Power of Consciousness 1. Practical energy will provide you with tools to improve health, develop intuition, and gain a deeper understanding of the world. Join and start changing your life right now. Link in the description.